waiting to be edited and things like this, but I watched one this morning from Mr. Cam Barker, and it was all to do with Chinese parts, and I thought I'd respond by giving my, what's the word I'm looking for, hardly expert opinion, but my opinion on it nonetheless, because I've had a fair bit of experience over the last year, I guess, with Chinese bits. The bit that he's probably mainly interested in is the old levers, and I have Chinese levers both on this bike, my R6, and on Lizzy, the R1, and they're great. I mean, I know somebody commented, I remember reading some of the comments saying the colour faded a little bit. Colour hasn't faded on mine. I've had them a year maybe. They actually seem really good quality, I'm not gonna lie. They're meant to be, was it CNC billeted aluminium? So they're meant to be quite soft anyway, but they're solid as a rock. I mean, there's no way that these things are gonna break, I don't think. I've had this bike in the kitty litter of Brands Hatch, and this right brake lever, the word I'm looking for, actually got heavily scratched, but it didn't break. Just heavily scratched. It's still scratched actually. I haven't bothered replacing it, it's perfectly fine. Might do next year, but this thing's got scratches all over it anyway, but that's not the point. Different vlog, hamster, different vlog. Keep up with the times. Yeah, so other Chinese bits that I've had is, and I'll put a picture on screen and give you 3 seconds to guess what's the Chinese parts on this. 1, 2, 3. Any ideas? Come on. Yellow. Just at the back end, go whip. Any ideas? It's the whole fairing set. I think I've mentioned on some of my video before that I had an accidento on the roado and basically destroyed Lizzy. So she was fixed over the summer. All sorts of things have gone on to that, but I was going to do a separate vlog on that one, probably in the next year at least, when it's warmer and I'm actually on it. However, yes, her whole fairing set is from China. Now, I actually bought it from a website called motorcyclefairing.org, and I will put a link in the description and hopefully somewhere nearish to a review that I'd done when I was actually rebuilding her. The quality of the fairings is not in question. They are not as flexible as OEM, they're quite tight, but they are injected plastic, not moulded and all that kind of crap, so they're decent. The paint and stickers and all that type of jazz is all put on really well. Stay, good boy. And the lacquer is of decent thickness. The only thing that I can really question about them is the fact that they are ever so slightly thicker. They don't have the same type of bend. For if anyone's ever put some R1 fairings on, you'll know that the side panels, the left and right side panels, wrap around the headlight. And I've got to be honest, I've been really tempted to do it with the R6 as well, this bike, because I've painted these myself. They are not the best quality, and they are now quite scratched. So another spare set would actually go down pretty well, especially for track. You can whip the new ones on and put these ones back on, etc, etc, because you don't want to wreck it basically. But I paid 250 quid for these fairings. Now, with shipping and all the rest of it, it was about 250 quid. I should have paid an extra 200 odd pound towards Mr. Customs Tax and Excise Duty Man, but for whatever reason they charged me a tenner. So I wasn't about to go back to them and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Taxman, you've undercharged me by around about £190. Please may I pay you some more?" No, I won't do that. You can F off. But ultimately, Chinese bits get a bit of a bad rep, I think. Not really fair anymore. I think a lot of the stuff that comes over is, it might be a bit kind of hit and miss. I've had some electrical bits, some wires, you know, nothing particularly expensive, so that if it does go tits up, I don't really care. But the levers were, I don't know, 25 quid or something like that. So it was like, yeah, it's worth the effort. But quality of those levers is really good, and the quality of my fairings was really good. The company in question that I got the fairings from is a whole different ball game, which I won't go into now. You can read the review that's in, again, linked in the description, etc, etc. Maybe even on the side here if I can be asked. But that site is actually now down. It got taken down last week, I believe, actually, because I've been emailing him literally every day for months, trying to get a refund that he promised me. But you know, that cost me about 20 quid or something, given I had all the whatchamacallits, the, oh my god, speak hamster, given I had the exercise and duty for absolutely bugger all, I'm not really going to complain. But that's done and dusted now. I'm not going to bother with that one anymore, I don't think. I've put my review up, he's shut his site down. As far as I'm concerned, that's his own bloody fault. Not me, gov. So yeah, my next port of call, I've actually got a rear light for my R1 with integrated turn signals that I haven't put on yet. That's a winter project, which I was going to fit. So we'll see what that one comes out like as well. But the quality, again, Chinese job, but the quality looks great. And I was also tempted to get somebody to buy me some rear sets for the R1 as well, which are, again, Chinese jobs, Moto something or other, can't quite remember what they're called, but they're like 80 odd quid. 80 odd quid, or the jowls and Litec stuff is like £400 or £500. I've actually got Litec chain adjusters on Lizzy. But again, that was because I had the money at the time. But anyway, I digress. This was only meant to be a quick vlog. Say hello! And put a bit of a response to Mr. Karen Baker. Hopefully set his mind at ease if he watches it. If not, it might help someone else, so who cares. So either way, I shall leave it there, folks, and scurry my way into work. Right safe, folks, and I shall see you on the next adventure.